Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast, your podcast dedicated to all things Animal Crossing. Episode 111 is brought to you by Kristen Crabtree, one of our newest Patreon patrons. Today, Sergio and I are answering the weekly questions for the 100-day countdown, and we're taking a look back at the year as well as making some New Year's resolutions. So to begin, hello Sergio, how you doing?
Hi Chewy, I'm doing pretty awesome. It's a little disappointing not to be with you directly this time around.
I know.
But we do what we can, right?
Yeah, it was so much easier doing the edits, not gonna lie, when we were both in the same room recording together.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this is the last day of the year, the last day of the decade. It's gonna be... It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy that it's come so fast. Because like right now we're going to be answering essentially questions from day 86 through 80 on this wait. And it is insane to me that we're only 80 days away from this game.
Yeah.
Well, for us, it's 82 because we're recording 2 days ahead of time. But like 20 days already going by, that is so fast.
Yeah. And, you know, the holidays, the end of the year, end of the decade, and Pokemon for me still all of these amazing things, like they just make time go faster, and that's a good thing. We kind of... It just goes so fast. I was going to say we forget, but no, we don't. We're still counting every day, but it just goes really quickly, and that's awesome.
Yeah, it is going really quickly. And today I felt like it went really fast because you got a new Xbox One X. And
Yes.
So you gifted me your old Xbox, and I spent my morning like setting it up and playing Viva Piñata.
Oh, nice.
Which it's so good. I love it. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. There's so much stuff coming up that is gonna, take up a lot of time and really make this go really quickly. And especially because like we're gonna start getting news any day now. Like I've already called Nintendo out in my head. I'm just like, look, January 1st, I better see some Animal Crossing news or else. So yeah, I'm hoping that it's coming really soon, and I'm hoping that we can just get through this wait and start playing the game.
Yes, yep.
So yeah, let's actually get into this countdown a little bit and go over the week's questions. So like I said, we're doing day 86 through 80 on this countdown. So if you all have been following along in the Discord and social media and everything, I've been looking through everybody's answers, and it's really cool to see so many people still just like keeping up and doing this countdown with us. So it's really awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I checked them out on Twitter and on Discord too, and there's so many people really engaged in this countdown. It's making it a lot of fun. It's making the time go faster, seeing all these awesome answers for sure.
Yeah, I'm so happy to see so many people like, just having some fun while we wait. It's like, we've been waiting for this for a long time, and we might as well just enjoy the last few days we have without this game before we enjoy all the days we have with the game.
Exactly.
So, yeah, like once this thing exists, like it's going to exist forever, which is really nice. All right, so the first question for day 86 was, have you already named your town? And Sergio, I'm really wondering, what are you calling your town?
You know what? I discussed in a previous episode that I was thinking about naming it Arena, which is Spanish for sand, which makes a lot of sense for an island. So I'm still very tempted. But, if you type out Arena, some people might read it as Arena. And I kind of don't want to be correcting people. I know it sounds a little picky, but it's Arena, So because of that, I think I'm still going to stick with Madeira, which is nice and easy, classic. It reminds me of my great times in New Leaf. So most likely I'm going to keep Madeira.
Yeah. I think, it's hard to go away from that after, like, at least a town name once you've loved living there and everything. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, oh, if I could move anywhere, where would I move to?
Yeah.
And so you could just pick somewhere new and exciting. So it is, it's really up to you what you want to name it. So yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to call my town quite yet. I'm just kidding. I totally know. It's going to be Haken, I guess. I guess I'll go with Haken. I guess for those who don't know, just kind of the background on Haken, I kind of I got hit with that question from Rover where he was like, so what town are you going to? And for me, it just like clicked right away that I was like, oh, I'm naming where I'm going to. And he's probably going to say, cool, that's a cool place or something.
Yeah.
So I knew what was coming. Like I could see it coming from a mile away. And I was like, oh man, this is a big question. I didn't even think about it. Because, you know, like giving him my name was easy enough. I was like, oh yeah, I'm Chewy.
Yes.
You know. And so I think that was also a really good setup to be like, oh, you're also going to be naming your town. Because, you know, at first, like, if you answered your name or whatever, and they're like, oh, no, your name is this, you could be like, oh, I'm not going to name anything, I guess.
Yeah,
it's just pre-named. But no, like, it lets you name yourself, and then you're like, oh, okay, I can name my town now. But yeah, I was sitting around, we threw around some names, we threw our hometown there, but it was 9 characters, and we were like, oh, it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Well, we'll pick another one. And so eventually Haken just popped in my head, and we all liked the sound of it, and we went with it. So yeah, it was and it's been stuck with me ever since.
Nice.
Funny enough, for this countdown as well, I originally posted a countdown for New Leaf back in the day, and it was a 100-day countdown, and I did it on my Tumblr blog, which was called Haken Town. And Nina, when she brought up the countdown for this, she was like, wait, was this you? And I was like, yeah, that was my countdown from ages ago. So yeah, lots of fun things attached to Haken now for me. So it feels like I'm going home when I name my place that.
Yeah, I mean, in a good way, you're stuck with it, but you want to be stuck with it. I feel like.
Yeah, I do. It's just like, you know, it just becomes a part of the identity of your playthrough and the identity of your time in the game. So yeah, it made sense to stick with it.
Yeah, nice. And, you know, it's funny that we're sticking with short words because we still don't know if there's going to be more than 8 characters. We're hopeful, but I feel like at this point, I mean, I'm hoping they can still talk about it. It's still fairly early on for Nintendo to announce this so that people can start planning their names.
Yeah. And I'm sure if people are thinking about it, they're like, all right, here's my more characters than 8 name if I can do it.
Yeah.
And here's my less characters if I can't.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to think of a backup at this point too, if that's what you're hoping for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So the next question for day 85 was, draw us your go-to outfit. And I am 1 for 3 now with these drawings because last week I didn't have one leaving out of town, and since I was still out of town I didn't draw one. But somebody actually has drawn my outfit for this one, and it appears in the first official Haken artwork that we got. And this was a piece from Citrus Lucy, and it was an autumn themed piece, and it was the first I guess time we ever had art for the show, which it took us long enough, but it was really nice to have it. But I will say, I guess the name of the clothing items that I do wear are the folk shirt, which is kind of like a red sweatery looking shirt with some nice like festive designs kind of going on. And then I also like to wear the patched knee pants. So these are the pants with just like some red patches on the kneecaps. So I love those pants. And I love that sweater. It's just my go-to outfit. I'm wearing it right now in Pocket Camp. So
oh, nice.
Yeah, I am glad that both of those items were there because I was like, yeah, this is just what I like to wear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you, Sergio?
Well, you know, for me, honestly, it's not exactly an outfit. I kind of like call it a style, and you know, it's always my thick glasses, the thick frames that the game calls it, and then just any T-shirt, basically, usually a dark color T-shirt, any pair of shorts, and barefoot. You know, that's my style in real life and in Animal Crossing. Sometimes I do wear a long sleeve shirt if just to change things up, but never pants. I was remembering that I wore pants in Animal Crossing just that one time I had a pretend date with someone, so you know I got a little more formal than usual. but yeah, that was pretty much it. I had to buy shoes for that too because as soon as I got the pair of shoes that you get in the beginning, I sold them right away because I wasn't gonna use them.
Yeah, you don't need them.
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I do like that you have your outfit here for me to look at. And yeah, I mean, that's how you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I have a question for all of you. If you are listening anywhere, tweet at us your answer or something, or leave a comment on YouTube, wherever you're listening. But I guess, do you tend to dress your character up as yourself, or do you like to go and kind of explore other styles and things while you're playing the game? Because I feel like I definitely go along the lines of dressing up more like how I would actually dress in real life,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I feel like you do too, Sergio.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, let us know. Are you dressing up like yourself, or do you like to explore a little bit? And maybe that's a question later on that I don't remember, but for now, let us know.
Yeah, that's a really good point because I feel really connected to my character in the game. I even struggle seeing my character because it's me, it's me in Animal Crossing. So it's fun to just be yourself there. And I guess that's why we don't really change our hair color or wear things that we normally wouldn't. And I think that's a very beautiful and amazing thing in Animal Crossing because we get so connected to ourselves in the game. Not a lot of games allow you to be customize your character, but I feel like Animal Crossing makes it very connected.
Yeah. And, we talked about this a little bit with the Pokemon stuff last week, too.
Yeah.
Where, like, I like seeing people going out and using the different hair colors and everything, but I don't seem to do that myself.
Yeah.
I just kind of keep doing my own thing where I just look like me.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's true. Like, you become attached to your identity there.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's special. So day 84, the question was, your all-time best friend, favorite villager. And I'm going to let you go first, Sergio, because I had trouble with this one for sure.
Oh, I used to have trouble with this one. Actually, no, what I'm saying is that I used to be Alfonso all the time. But very recently I changed it because remembering how Alfonso left me. Again, we don't know all the details, but I know somebody that has not left me so far, and that is my girl, Hazel. Hazel and her unibrow. They are my best friends.
Yeah. I see that with you too. I remember when I posted a video using your kind of game file, you were looking and you're like, yes, Hazel's still there. So, yeah, it's something to worry about, like whether your villager is going to move out or not. But yeah, I'm glad she hasn't left you yet.
Yeah, she has been there.
I had to think about this for a while. Or, yeah, go for it.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just saying that she has been there, through the good times, the bad times, and she's stuck around. So for sure, Hazel, you're my girl.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, for me, I guess I had to think about it for a while because I wasn't quite sure, but like I mostly thought about it in the sense of like, all right, let's go back to New Leaf and kind of see how my playthrough went with that. And I think the character that was like really stuck it out, he wasn't an original in my town or anything. He moved in a lot later in my gameplay, but he definitely like made an impression and stuck around and everything. But Rudy, the cat, one of the few cats that you actually recognize. But yeah, essentially like I talked to Rudy a lot and he'd always show up in my place and he'd always be hanging out. And yeah, he was just like a regular character that I ran into. So Rudy and I, we have, a close friendship, and I feel like he's just one of those staples to my playthrough of New Leaf,
Nice. That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good friend. I mean, he became one who, like, I logged in on my birthday, and he was the one who greeted me and threw the party and everything. So
awesome.
It was, it was a clear choice, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number 83, what is your favorite flower? And I have a funny answer for this one because if anybody watched some of my videos during kind of the Goodbye New Leaf era of me playing Animal Crossing, there was a video where I was just like going through and destroying all the flowers that weren't red, and people were wondering what I was doing. And so essentially my favorite flower is just all the red flowers. Any flower that's red, those are the ones I want in my town. I'll probably stick to that.
Let me guess, it's probably because of the contrast with the green.
Yeah, I mean, it does look good, but I also just really like red too. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
it made sense to just have red flowers be my favorite.
Cool, cool. That's nice.
Yeah. So what was yours?
So for me, it's the purple roses. They really stand out to me. You know, they're kind of bold looking. They look nice and vibrant. They go well with the green. They look nice in the winter also. So yeah, the purple roses, they're kind of special.
Yeah, those are cool too, and that's one of the flowers that you just have to get them through breeding and
Yeah,
getting hybrids, and so it takes some work to get all
yeah,
those flowers. The red flowers for me are just real easy to get.
yeah,
Yeah, they're pretty basic.
yeah.
So number 82 or day 82, the question was your favorite Dr. Shrunk emotion. What was yours, Sergio?
Mine is curiosity because it killed a cat. No, 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 just kidding. It's because I really like the way the question mark comes up and your character looks like confused but also questioning. Like you can interpret it in many different ways. So curiosity stands out to me the most.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I don't remember the name of mine. Maybe you do. But it's the leaf blowing emotion, the
Oh,
one where the little leaf goes through. Is it like indifference or I don't remember.
no,
Yeah,
but I know which one. And then it has the little sound effect too.
yeah, the little wind blowing
Yeah.
sound effect. So yeah, that one's mine. Just because I love the leaf. It is the new leaf in New Leaf. That's what they named the
Oh.
game after. Just that emotion. So the new leaf emotion. That's what it's called
Oh,
now.
nice.
um, cool. Day 81. Gyroids, creepy or cute? What do you think, Sergio?
I think they're creepy when you think about it. So if you don't think about it, they're just cute. So that's what we do. We don't think about creepy.
Yeah. I put well, I don't know if the two are exclusive. I think they're both. I think they're creepy and cute because
Yeah.
I like creepy things, so I think they're cute. So, yeah, I think both for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. And then the last day is day 80 today for everybody listening, but this question is invent a new holiday. And Sergio, I'm
Oh.
really excited to hear what you've invented for this one.
So I'm thinking of something called Music Day. So everyone on your island would be playing music outside and also in their homes. It could either be the same song or a different version of the same song. And then the stores would also have music that is exclusive to that day. You know how some stores have music, most of them do, or all of them, but this time around, on this day only, they would be playing different, unique music. So it would be pretty cool to visit all the stores so you can hear all the new music. And at 8 p.m., KK Slider and maybe a couple of other special characters or just regular villagers from your island, they would all get together and throw a huge concert outdoors at 8 p.m. So, Music Day, this would be on August 24, which is a day after KK's birthday. So, whenever it is, August 24, Music Day, I think that would be pretty awesome.
No, that is awesome. I love that. Especially because I'm still kind of like, I would love to see just like more musicians kind of pop up in Animal Crossing and
Yeah,
maybe KK Slider starting a band kind of thing. But
yeah.
especially like if he opens up his own shop or venue or something, that'd be awesome. I think it'd be really cool to see like all the music in the game celebrated and everything. And maybe that would make Nintendo finally have some sort of concert, like
Oh,
real life
yeah,
concert that we could attend and go to. So
yeah.
yeah, I need that. So my holiday, I'm calling it Spring Cleaning Day.
Ah,
And it's kind of, I guess, based off an existing holiday that maybe I would like to return, but essentially it's like cleaning out your place, setting up things outside, and having your villagers come and buy things from you that you're getting rid of. And then they could also do the same thing where they're like cleaning out some of the extra junk that they have, maybe because I really want them one of the sad parts of playing previous Animal Crossing games is that, like, you start buying stuff from your villagers and then their house is empty and doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh man, I really want you to have stuff. And so I want them to, like, have too much stuff in this one where they're like, oh, I have a lot of things. Maybe I should get rid of some. And so, you know, they'll kind of do like a spring cleaning day and start selling things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they could also buy new things from you and, you know, just give them more variety in their house. So that's what I would want it to be.
Yeah, I think variety is good. I remember for a really long time, Hazel didn't have a bed, and she had a lot of closets and a lot of fish in her house. I don't know why.
Yeah. And you want your little animals to have a bed
Yeah.
to sleep in. Where are they sleeping if they don't have that? So I think it's worth getting, you know?
Yeah, and I really like that your holiday is during the springtime. I feel like at least in real life where we are, there's not enough holidays around the spring. You know, we get a bunch towards the end of the year and at the beginning, and then it's a while before the next one. So any spring holiday, definitely welcome.
Yeah, and I guess I also made it kind of that because we came back and we're like, oh, we kind of want to do some cleaning too.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, there's some extra clutter around and stuff. We came back with some extra stuff and we're like, oh, we got to reevaluate what we have and, you know, get rid of things. So,
yeah.
Kind of stuck in real life too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So that's all of the days so far. I can't believe already 20 days down.
Yeah.
That is insanity. I can't believe how quickly it's going. We're only 80 days to go, everybody, till we get this game.
That's crazy. Usually the countdowns that I'm a part of, I kind of don't want to because they just make the wait longer. But this one is working. This one is making the days fly by. I don't get it, but I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. I'm really excited for how quickly this is going.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's actually go into our next topic, which is recapping the year. And I guess I didn't write too much about it because unfortunately we didn't get too much. I'll bring that up a little bit later as we go through our New Year's resolutions. But I guess this year it did end up being pretty big in the sense of like we finally got some huge reveals and everything. But essentially, like, we went into this year, 2019, thinking it's time for Animal Crossing to come out. And I thought the longest possible amount that we could wait for this game was till December 31st, 2019. And here we are at December 31st, 2019. And lo and behold, we still have to wait 80 more days for this game.
Oh,
so, of course, one of the biggest disappointments is the delay that we got. But eventually, you know, we did at least get the reveal. So we got to see Animal Crossing New Horizons at E3 and again at the September Direct. And then just some random info drops here and there this past month. So yeah, I guess Sergio, how did you feel about this year, about the news we got, about everything?
I feel like it took a little longer than I wish it had. It would have been nice to have a little bit more information maybe around March or April of this year of 2019. But I feel like once they hit us with E3 and then we saw it again at the September Direct. And we've had, you know, the renders and some information from Nintendo of Mexico and Spain and a lot of different places except regular Nintendo. But I feel like we're getting information at a steady pace. It could be more, of course. But I feel like considering we had nothing before this, I feel like Nintendo's doing a good job of getting the info out there, whether it's officially or not, but the info is out there, so we're thankful for it.
Yeah, and I will say, like, this is a lot more kind of already than we've gotten from Nintendo in the past. Like, New Leaf news was very rare to come by. It took a long time for them to talk about that game, and even when they did, they just had like a Japanese-only direct for the game, and it took months before we even saw it. In English, you know, like people were already playing the game and putting videos on YouTube, and you could see stuff there, but you couldn't see stuff from Nintendo. It was really weird. It was lame. But now, like, you know, we've gotten quite a bit. A few videos is a lot better than at least the 3 years of news we got for New Leaf, which was surprisingly slim. I think we saw the game about 4 times before, it actually came out, which now we've seen the game about 4 times. If we break down all of those like random news updates along with the 3 videos. So yeah, we've gotten some stuff and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, in a pretty lengthy overview in the treehouse.
Yeah, the treehouse was definitely big. Like, they gave us a lot of stuff that we didn't expect to get. Like, that's where we got confirmation that there were going to be, I guess, different hemispheres for the times that you could pick. So, yeah, there's plenty of good info there. But yeah, I guess outside of that, because I asked you, like, what were your disappointments, right? Well, I guess I kind of asked you what you thought about the year. But I guess, were there any other things that disappointed you this year?
I guess, the delay for sure. And it was unfortunate that when you saw everything Nintendo had planned for 2019, it was too much. I feel like a lot of us expected a delay. We didn't want it to be Animal Crossing, of course, but that one was the one they chose, and we kind of have to go with it. So, other than that, not really. A very big highlight for me was Pokemon. I forgot. I didn't realize how much of a Pokemon fan I was until I started playing Sword and Shield. It's been crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, and I guess, I did kind of want to move into what your favorite things for this year were. Because mine, I guess, definitely the whole reveal for New Horizons. I think overall, like, we haven't seen too much over the past, 6 months since we've seen it. But from the things we've seen, I'm just like, this game is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. Because, like, we've played every Animal Crossing game at this point, at least both of us. And, we've had 4 mainline games that had kind of the same setup and experience with some differences here and there. And I really like that this one feels fresh in a way that's like they're changing it and making it really different from before. And I like that. Just because like I've had the Animal Crossing experience already. Like, I want to do something different and something new. So it's going the direction that I wanted it to go for a new Animal Crossing game.
Yes, I definitely agree. It's very exciting, and for newcomers as well, it's something different. Like, oh, I see this is kind of different now. Maybe I'll give it a try this time, and that's awesome. The more people that are playing this amazing game and experience, I think the better.
Yeah, and I think it'll be really cool to see like what both new players and old players think of this. So I'm really excited to see people's reactions to it and how the game actually plays out in the end. Yeah. So, yeah, just like it's been a big year, and unfortunately it wasn't quite the year of Animal Crossing yet. But we have gotten confirmation from Nintendo. They did tweet out that March 20th, 2020 is still the day that the game's coming out. So it seems like there's no delay in sight at this point.
Right.
It looks good. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. So I guess, I wanted to know what your hopes were for the next year. And kind of, I guess 2020 is going to be the year of Animal Crossing. Do you have any hopes that are bigger than a release, or just, just hopes in general?
So yeah, hopes in general, it's all revolving the release of New Horizons. First and foremost, I really want Nintendo to be very active about post-release support for the game. I want them to announce and to keep up with like special events, kind of like they do in Pocket Camp, but make it for New Horizons. Keep new interesting events going on, connectivity maybe with Pocket Camp, either free items or plans for pay DLC or whatever they're planning, but I hope they're planning a lot of things and that it's very constant, because Animal Crossing is one of those games or series that it's very easy to keep feeding it, and I feel like Nintendo could do a better job of that than they have in the past. I think they did a good job with New Leaf, but I think they can do more, so I really want them to embrace it in New Horizons.
Yeah, I agree completely. I just want to see them take advantage of like the real-time aspect to it. Like updates as the years go that like match what the season is and everything. Yeah. That's such a cool thing to do for a game that works like Animal Crossing. So, yeah, I would love to see that. Yeah, for me, I'm hoping that we get lots of news from here on out. January 1st, tomorrow, we need something. And every single day up until the game comes out, just give us a bunch of things. Or if you don't, at least hold a direct soon enough, start pumping the game and making people aware that it's coming. Like, it's a big game for Nintendo.
Yeah.
And it's one, and I've made videos about this before, but like Animal Crossing is one of those games that like really hits a different demographic, a different style of play that I just feel is unfortunately lacking on the Switch thus far. There have been more and more games as Story of Seasons has come out, as more life sims like Stardew Valley and My Time at Portia start to become more prevalent, but overall it's just like we need that Animal Crossing game to be part of that experience on the Switch, where I think the Switch has done a really good job of like doing platformers and just a bunch of games that appeal more to like core gamers, but it needs that like kind of relaxing, fun, no stress game, like the stakes are low and everything. So yeah, I think that's what Animal Crossing will bring to this for sure.
Yes, definitely. And this is gonna be the first major game for the Switch's fourth year. It's gonna it's gonna start its fourth year in March 3. So a couple like 15 days after that or a little more, it's gonna be the first major release, and I think Nintendo should capitalize on that. This is how we're kicking off the Switch's fourth year with a bang, a big release. We're gonna market this for everybody. It's not for casuals. It's for the hardcore as well. This game is for everybody, and I think the marketing for the game should be very. It should be big. Nintendo should go all out with the marketing.
Yeah, you're totally right. And like, I can't believe it took them until their fourth year to have an Animal Crossing game on this. I mean, I guess the Wii U went the whole time without one, which is, like you're already this late into the Switch. You completely skipped the last console. Like, it took a long time to get this game out. And so, I don't know. I want to see a game like that, especially one from Nintendo. And yeah, it's insane to me that it took this long to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I also want like a dedicated direct. I want Animal Crossing Joy-Con. Just give us new Joy-Con, because it seems like more and more Nintendo's going away from Amiibo. Like, we didn't really get any new Amiibo for Luigi's Mansion, Fire Emblem, even Super Mario Maker 2. Like, there just wasn't Amiibo. And I guess like Super Mario Maker 2, it didn't even implement all of those Amiibo costumes that were available. So like this past year felt more and more like they're getting away from that. They're not going toward Amiibo anymore, but I'm like, at least reprint the old ones, make them available for people if they're going to be, usable within the game. Because now it's so much harder to find the packs and everything. So yeah, the figures, you can find most of them still, but really the packs of cards and everything, those just don't pop up anymore.
Yeah, I'm definitely hopeful. They were nice enough to confirm that the amiibo are gonna work. So just keep the niceness going and reprint them and have them available. Uh, you know, at least in retail or maybe like in an online ordering service, but for all the countries that would be playing the game, just some way for people to have access to them. Because if you're gonna support the feature, people should be able to buy the cards that they would need.
Yeah, they should. And unfortunately, right now they can't. So I'm hoping they will soon.
Yeah. I had another hope for Animal Crossing. This is going to be more towards the end of 2020, but I have a good feeling about this one. I think Nintendo is going to announce at least early details on the next Animal Crossing spin-off, and I really want them to have it be very connected to New Horizons. What I'm thinking is it's going to be technically a spin-off. You could play without playing New Horizons, but I feel like if you play both games, they're going to be connected. Like, you could play the spin-off and you would get rewards for your island in New Horizons. You could get items, you could get bells if you link basically your two games together. If that's the case, I'm thinking it's probably going to be a download game so that it's easier to connect to your island. But I just want Nintendo to start planning like a roadmap for New Horizons, and I think a good part of that would be spin-offs that are connected to it.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I really wonder what they're gonna do with spin-offs come after New Horizons. Like
Mhm.
we're gonna be waiting for something new at some point. But yeah, I don't know. I really wonder what they're gonna do. I would love to see a spin-off for the game, of course. And yeah, I guess I don't know how they're gonna handle that. Just with like, it seems like they're not gonna connect Pocket Camp really. Which is
Mhm.
already kind of like a free to play game. It's not difficult to get that game.
Right. Mhm, mhm.
But yeah, I mean, if you already have a Switch and there's like a free to download game that also does stuff, but I mean, I kind of doubt Nintendo will do too much of that, but I don't know. I would like it. I would like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So, I guess let's move into our New Year's resolutions for the show. Well, I guess they're not specifically for the show. Maybe some of them will, but we've been doing this a few years now. We've seen many years doing this show. So, like always, we have some old resolutions that we have to go through and see how we did this past year.
Nice.
And I feel for a bit I was checking in with you and seeing how your resolutions were going, and then I dropped off and completely forgot about it the rest of the year at some point, but you know how that goes.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess let's go ahead and go through some of our old resolutions. And Sergio, do you want to start?
Sure thing. And I honestly, I only had two from last year because I know myself, if I have two, I can most likely achieve them. If I have any more than that, it's probably one or all three are gonna drop out. So I try to keep it simple. And last year I did. So I had two resolutions for the most part. And the first one was that I wanted to redo my living room. I wanted to make things very organized. Just redo the layout, have everything tidy up a little bit, and it still have plenty of room for merchandise, posters, KK figures, and plushies, and what have you. And I actually did, and this was pretty early on in the year. I redid my room. I remember it took a really long time. It was one of those, I think one of those holidays when, I took the weekend pretty much to redo my room, and it was so worth it. I really like the layout of my room. There's not a lot of room. I did end up adding a turntable pretty much in the middle of it, and I had to put a table there, which kind of takes a little too much space, but I really like the turntable, so it's kind of worth it. So for the rest of it, yeah, I feel like redoing my room was pretty awesome. It was one of the highlights of my year because it was early on, and I spend most of my time here with my living room, and I want it to be as close to perfect as I can.
Yeah. No, that's really awesome. I remember, the weekend where you spent a lot of time working on your room and really getting it fixed up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really cool to know that you did that. And it was a good idea, too, to not make too many because that's an easy trap to fall into, and it's one that I've always fallen into, I guess. Like this whole just like YouTube thing and the podcast and everything, it all started out with me saying, all right, I have to pick just one thing to do because I have too many things that I want to do that I don't get around to doing any of them.
Yeah.
And so the podcast was that. Like, this podcast was just like, all right, I'm going to do a podcast. It's going to be about Animal Crossing, and eventually it'll be something that I do all the time. And it is now. So, yeah, I really like that you went that strategy with your resolutions for the year.
Yeah.
So I went with too many last year. Speaking of having to trim it down. But one of them was I wanted to do a lot more music, especially for the show and everything. And I did do one song.
Right.
I recorded the New Horizons theme, which you heard. If you listen to the podcast, you hear it at the beginning. It's a guitar kind of version, an acoustic guitar version of the theme song.
Mhm.
I recorded that, and it was really fun. It was really cool to do. But I'd want to record more still. Unfortunately, it's not going to be in my resolutions this year because I have some new ones, but I am happy that I at least did one, and it doesn't feel like I went through and this was a whole failure.
No, for sure. And this one was very, very, very special because it's the new theme. And I remember, you wanted it to get it absolutely perfect, and I feel like you did. It's an awesome fit for the podcast, and it just makes sense that it was that theme. It's perfect.
Yeah, it was really fun to do, and I always really enjoy doing I guess, new music and everything. So yeah, I'm hoping I can do it more, but I'm not going to be focused on that this next year. The other thing I did was I made like kind of a content calendar for the channel, and I also kind of predicted that this would change over time. Mostly the prediction was like, oh, if Animal Crossing is coming out, then of course my schedule is going to change. Because I want to do like daily content for that. Unfortunately, it never did. So, yeah, we're still waiting on that change to happen. But as far as like this calendar, I was doing like Sunday, the weekly updates, which, eventually I stopped doing those for one reason or another. I wanted to focus on other things. The podcast on Tuesdays, which is still good. I wanted to do Stardew Valley videos that never happened. And I'm actually still talking to a friend about making those. So that might actually still happen, but it just hasn't yet. The Friday series of videos, I keep doing Friday videos, so yeah, I feel like I've done well on that. And then Saturdays was streaming, and I did a lot of streaming on Saturdays.
Yeah.
It wasn't every Saturday like I would hope, but it was pretty good. I felt like I did pretty good on at least content creation.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Yeah, so, I'm not too bummed that a lot of these things didn't work out. It's hard to plan like a whole year of what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And, your interests change over time, but, I'm glad the staples are still there for me. And, I'm still going to be working on doing different videos. And that'll be in my New Year's resolution. So we'll get to that a little bit later.
Nice.
But yeah, like I said, Animal Crossing Switch didn't come out, so I couldn't really do anything with that. But outside of that, I had an overall goal to just improve the administrative work that I did with running the channel. One of those was posting every episode of the podcast on my website. That was a complete failure. I never did that. And I don't know when I will, but still to this day, I haven't.
Right.
Yeah, and then the other thing I had was I wanted to improve my use of social media, which I feel like I've done that. I feel like I did a lot more on Twitter, on Instagram, even on Facebook now, too. So
nice.
The countdown helps a lot. I've been posting the countdown everywhere. So it goes up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Patreon. All 5 of those places get regular updates, daily updates. So yeah, I feel like that I did great.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the last one was keeping up with Patreon a lot better. And I feel like that went really well too. I've been really good about reaching out to people once they become patrons. And, I want to make sure that they know I really appreciate them going and supporting us this way, because this has led to some really cool things like making artwork for the show and eventually the calendar. So yeah, there's some really awesome things that happened there. And I feel like I did a lot better reaching out to everybody on Patreon. So yeah, I think overall that went really well. There's one thing that, didn't, but 2 for 3. Very good.
Nice. Yeah, definitely agree. Very nice.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and move into our New Year's resolution. So this next year, what are we going to be focusing on? And Sergio, yeah, I'm really interested to see how focused you are in your resolutions again. Are you going with only 2 again?
Yes, going with 2 again.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited. Let me know what they are.
So, yeah, going with 2, and they are both related to Animal Crossing. And the first one is I'm going to be making highlight videos of my life in Madera or Arena, most likely Madera. They're going to be edited videos with voiceovers, basically the best items in. The goal, honestly, is to have them weekly. So it's going to be the weekly highlights with some voiceovers from me and like special effects just for fun, like the funny moments of the week. And I guess the biggest goal or challenge is going to be to stick with the weekly format. I feel like it's doable. I have a good feeling about this. I've been preparing this year, thanks to Logan from the Discord. I found a very good video editor. I already learned it. It does what I need it to do, and I'm ready to start going with weekly videos once New Horizons is out. So definitely ready. I got a big hard drive for all the videos that I'm going to be recording. So I am definitely ready. Like I said, the challenge is going to be keeping up with having these videos weekly, but I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome. I'm really excited to see, especially because, like, I've been really impressed with your goal of like recording every single minute of your gameplay. So I want to see that put to use. I want to see you go through and like put out a good weekly update for what you've been doing. Because it needs to be seen. I want to see everything.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be like, like for New Leaf, I had the photo album that I got printed. So this is gonna be like a video album, and the way to share it is gonna be through the weekly video. So I definitely don't want to keep these videos just to me. I want to share the best parts of my gameplay with everybody. So I'm really looking forward to that challenge. And the second resolution is also related to New Horizons and very specifically to Haken. I want to be very resourceful to our players in our community on Discord, on Twitter, wherever we are. I want to be there for people that are either starting out their islands or that want to speed up a goal that they're having. Maybe people want to save a lot, or they're looking for this very specific item that is very hard to get. So honestly, I kind of set a goal earlier today, and I said, you know what? It's going to be a win-win. I'm going to help people with the items they get, and I'm going to add more playtime basically to my enjoyment of New Horizons. So I'm going to dedicate 50% of my resources, whatever they are, bells, items, anything. It's going to be for me and my town, and the other 50 are going to be for other people. You know, I just want to help everyone, especially on Discord, especially new people, new to the series that want to start out, and maybe they think that their progress is gonna be a little bit slow. So I want to have a lot of items for them to kind of get them going. So I feel like I really like this goal. I'm definitely gonna be resourceful to everyone listening.
Yeah, no, that is really cool. And yeah, I remember you mentioning like you just wanted your gameplay to not be ruined by having too much money and
Yeah,
stuff like that, like making progress too quickly. So I think that's a really cool way to just like stifle the progress that you are able to make.
exactly. Yeah,
And keep yourself playing a lot, which is, that's what your aim is. It's
yeah,
just to play as much as possible, which is cool. I want to do
yeah,
that. Well, yeah, no, that's really awesome. I'm sure people really enjoy having like this little resource center that you'll have running. And,
yeah,
it'll also give you an opportunity to play with a lot more people too. So,
yeah, definitely.
yeah, I think that's cool. Yeah, I guess I went with too many again. But some of them definitely go together. At least, I guess this first one has about 4 different parts to it.
Mm.
But I guess the first one is I want to finish my recording studio. So I guess I don't mention it too much, at least the background of like, the space I actually use to make all of this stuff. But
Mhm.
it's spread out right now. Right now, I do streaming from the living room and I record a lot of videos in another room, kind of an extra bedroom that we have in our duplex that we live
Mhm.
in. But I really want it all to be in one place. It's a real
Yeah.
hassle to have to move back and forth and move all of these things. And there's just like a lot of work that goes into me just like getting set up around wherever I want to record or wherever I need to record.
Yeah, I can imagine. Hmm.
So yeah, in order to do that, I am just finishing up a room. So I've already gotten like a new webcam. So there's going to be some more of my face in some of these things. But
Oh,
outside of that, like I want to get a couple monitors, some lights, and some more Ethernet cables to run into this room
right, right.
because I'll need that to have things properly set up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also want to just like set up a desk that can allow for like more streaming and just making better content and everything. So yeah, I guess kind of attached to that New Year's resolution, I want to do more streaming. I want to stream regularly when New Horizons is out
Mm.
and just kind of have plenty. I'll probably play daily, once the game is out. So it'll be cool. And outside of that, like I guess this one's kind of different, but attached to just recording stuff. But I want to make more Nintendo content. I have a couple videos planned out that I haven't made quite yet. I've recorded actually some of them, but it's just like general Nintendo videos. So I
Mm.
want to be better about making just like general Nintendo content and, yeah, I feel like this has been a goal for a long time, but I haven't gotten around to it. I always tend to focus on Animal Crossing a lot, and I will focus on Animal Crossing pretty easily this year.
Oh,
and
yeah.
since it's going to get a lot easier to do Animal Crossing content once we actually have content to talk about, I feel like I'll be able to, spread out a little bit more and talk about more Nintendo stuff. So that's a goal of mine. But yeah, outside of that, I guess the main goals are to make Animal Crossing content pretty daily once New Horizons is out, and then also get that Haken calendar out. I'm getting really close to getting all of the artwork done and in front of me, so I can, just start putting it together and everything, and putting up a pre-order page. But yeah, it's always in the works, and it's always on my mind. So it's close now. I think I need about 3 more pieces, so
nice.
It's just about there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last one is just to be more interactive with people. I kind of slipped on responding to comments and stuff on YouTube, and I want to be better about that. And in general, be good about like talking to people on the Discord and everything. I feel like the end of the year was too busy and kept me away, but yeah, I want to do better once this game is out and play with everybody. So
nice.
I think it'll be a lot easier too. So yeah.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
definitely. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, just with so much stuff going on and it having to go on, I think it'll naturally happen. So I guess in some ways the resolutions don't really push it, but at the same time, I'm like, I want to make sure I do well at these things,
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So I guess that does it for New Year's. I hope you all have a really great year. I hope this is truly the year of Animal Crossing. Thus far, it looks like it will be, and it looks like it's going to be fun. So I'm hoping we all have a lot of fun this next year with it.
Yes, definitely.
Cool. So let's actually close out the show with our Haken's Islander Corner. For those of you who don't know, every week we ask our patrons on Patreon a question and read their replies here. So this week's question was, have you named your town yet? And Sergio and I have already answered this. We're going with our town names.
Yes.
But yeah, Sergio, let's go back and forth and read everybody's answers. Do you want to start with this first one?
Sure thing. And our first answer this week is by Elizabeth WP, and they say, yeah, I'm probably going to go with Elismera, which is the name of my new leaf town. It's a stylized version of Elismera, which is the elf town in Aragon, but edited to fit the character limit. Oh man, that character limit just getting in the way all the time. Hopefully that stops in 2020.
Yeah, we all want that to be gone. Hopefully it is. So Andrew Orto said, I haven't yet, but my cousin and I will probably coordinate town names. Would love to name it after my childhood home, Long Island, though. So yeah, I mean, you'll need the character limit to go away for that one, but hopefully it is.
Unless they add island to whatever we name, which I kind of hope they don't, but we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Then he can just go with Long.
Yeah, I hope they find a way to tell you that's going to happen too, because some people want to put island at the end of it,
Yeah.
So it would be a bummer if they called it Long Island and then they tagged another island at the end of that. So it's Long Island Island. So yeah, I hope they, make it clear what's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely. So Benedict says, yes, I'm torn between 2 choices, however, both from Pokemon games. The first is Sandgem from the game set in Sinnoh, and it really fits the island theme. The second one is Hau'oli from the Alola region for the same reason. Oh, I like those. Very nice.
Yeah, those are really good ones to go with. Definitely going with the theme there.
Yeah.
So Quantrell Toval said, yes, I have 2 names in mind. It depends on the character limit as to which I use. If all else fails, I can always use Haken, right? Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to use it. It's not exclusive. But yeah, no, it's good that people are thinking of like a backup just in case their name does not fit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So Lyalatron says, I want to call it Nibelheim if I can, size depending. It's Cloud's home from Final Fantasy VII. Ah, nice.
Yeah, that's a good go-to too.
Yeah.
So Indy Sarah said, I was settled on my usual town name, but an island threw that off. So now I'm thinking of calling it Ithaca, like Homer's Odyssey.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
and that's something that I'm seeing too. Like Nina, when she was on just a couple weeks ago. Was it a couple weeks ago? Yeah,
Yes.
it was. When she was on, like, it was really cool to know that she just changed directions with how she was naming her town. So, yeah, the island setting really changes things for some people.
Yeah, definitely. So Kali says, not yet, and she has the crying emoji. So I think it's true, because we don't know yet if the character limit, and I feel like a lot of people are waiting, They can either have two options right now, or some people are just going to wait until we know exactly how many letters or spaces we have, and then it's a very important choice, definitely.
Yeah, and some people just put some thought into it, because we've asked this question before, and so I think people are getting a little bit closer to having more answers now.
Yeah.
So Tab said, yes, my town has always been named Emerald. It is mine and my husband's birthstone. For a while I thought I might go with a new name, but now that we know it's an island, I think Emerald will be perfect. Can't wait. And yeah, I feel like
nice.
Emerald Island, that's a really nice name. I think that's cute.
Yeah, that's very nice. So Newt says, I'm debating between a few different names. I mainly consider going with a name I already use for one of my few Animal Crossing New Leaf towns, but the more I think about it and the more lists I make, the more I'm wanting to go with something brand new, kind of celebrating a new era and decade and starting completely fresh. But I'm also very nostalgic. Help? It's tough. It's a tough choice. I completely agree with you. You're very tied to your previous town name, at least. But like you said, it's a different location. So you're thinking, well, it's a different place. It's not a town anymore. It's an island. Maybe it's time to change it. And it's a tough choice. I'm definitely torn as well.
Yeah. It could be, it's something that's going to stick around your town for a long time. So it's worth putting some thought into it and figuring out what you want to call it, because this is a long-term game that has a long-term playthrough. So you better hope your name is long-term.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think this is the last answer, and it's from Just Van Dreisch, and they said, I'm still in doubt. However, I think I will go for the same name as my New Leaf town, which is Halcyon. It sounds beautiful and reflects peace, coziness, happiness, and just being at ease. And yeah, I think that's capturing Animal Crossing right there, especially this whole island theme and everything. It seems like New Horizons, that's the way to go for that, Yeah, so yeah, these are all really awesome names. I'm really excited for those of you who have already picked, and I hope those of you who haven't quite yet find the right name for your island. Because, if you can't think of one, it's going to stop you from being able to play. So it cuts into the minutes that you'll have for this.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, thank you all so much for tuning in to this episode of Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. Don't want the episode to end? Well, you can keep the conversation going by Nintendo switching over to the Discord. Just follow the link in the description and you can talk with other people who love Animal Crossing as much as you do, including Sergio and me. Want to support the show in a bigger way and get your voice heard during the show? Visit patreon.com/ChewyPlaysNintendo. You can support our show with just $1, have an episode dedicated to you, get special access to a secret room on Discord, join in on the Haken Islander Corner, and even read a monthly newsletter covering all things Haken and Chewy Plays. We really appreciate the support and put your money toward great things on the show. Tuned in on YouTube, the comments are a great place to let us know your answers to the Haken Islander Corner. Have you named your town yet? If you dig what you hear, please KK slide over to that review section on your platform of choice. Let people know what they're missing out on. Haken is a wild production brought to you by Chewy, Sergio, and all of our patrons. We thank you for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Goodbye, everybody. We hope you had an awesome 2019 and an even better 2020.